Hi, so for my Module 1 activity, I explored a park that's only like maybe 2 minutes away from my house. And I didn't really know how to kind of blend in because I kind of stand out a lot. So I just grabbed a book and sat on one of the picnic tables. So the little setup, let me give you a setup of the park. There's like swings, a rock climbing wall thing, and then like monkey bars and a slide. So it's like okay for all ages. So when I got there, there was these two kids that had like bikes and skateboards that were just like being rambunctious on the rock climbing wall, and they weren't really saying anything. They were just kind of more messing around than anything. And then a mother and her little daughter, she was kind of young, they just kind of did their own thing and went to the swings and just was like playing around on there. And the two little boys, I felt like they were trying to like hang out with the girl, but she was way too young in order to be able to like participate in things they did. But then maybe like 5 minutes later, maybe like almost 10, there was this little boy, maybe like 4 or 5, that walked in with his mom, and his mom just literally just sat on the picnic table, like one right next to me, and then just let her kid like let loose. And she really wasn't paying attention to him that much, and he was kind of shy to go up to little boys just because they were in the different ages, but he kind of was seeing how they were like throwing rocks at each other. So then he tried to participate in it, but the little boys didn't really like that he was trying to do that. So like that misinterpreting play right there, just because he was trying to hang out with them and they didn't want to hang out with him. So he kind of felt excluded. And then another instance with them, the same 3 boys, is they started climbing up the slide when you should have been going down the slide, and the little boy thought that he could climb up the slide with them. So while they were climbing up the side, he tried, and then he fell, and he started crying, and then his mom looked a little bit oblivious on like what exactly was going on. So she really wasn't paying attention to like what her kid was doing, but she was just in her own little world, like on her phone. So she wasn't really caring what they were doing, or that the little boys weren't really being as nice to him as they really should have been. And then maybe like 2 minutes later, I don't know if they like were friends or not, but these 2 teenager girls showed up, and they were the oldest ones there, and they did not want anything to do with any of the structure on the playground. They literally just wanted to be on their phones and go over and sit by the swings, and they kind of like shoot off the daughter and the mom, so they kind of just like went somewhere else. But they didn't want to play at all. They just wanted to be on their phone. So I thought it was really weird how they just stayed on the swings, and they weren't even swinging. So that was something that I found strange. They were just on their phones the whole entire time, and I felt like they were trying to get those guys' attention, but those guys were just so focused and just playing and having fun that they didn't really care what those girls were doing or why they were on their phone. So most definitely the influencing part is the little boy with the 2 older boys, just because he's like, oh, they're older, I want to do all the fun stuff he is, but he wasn't old enough to be able to do it. And then those 2 teenagers, they found play to be different than what most little kids would figure out, even though those boys were probably like 2 years younger, but they didn't figure out play to be as fun as the guys did, which, I mean, makes sense in this generation just because they view play as, oh, let's hang out and be on our phones, while there's younger ones that like really want to go out and like release energy. So I feel like during this activity for the 30 minutes, I got a lot of different influences in different age brackets, which was really kind of interesting, especially with only being 6 kids around. But I feel like I was able to understand the difference of play among all ages. Thank you.